Hi everyone, hope you're all doing okay. Thank you for joining me again, and thank you to all my new subscribers, that means a lot. So, I'm mixing this channel up a bit, everyone. And I want to talk about Britney Spears. Now, I watched the documentary and I thought, oh my God, oh lordy, I've never even heard of conservatorship, whatever it's called. Conservatorship, whatever it is, yeah. However you pronounce it, sorry. So, me personally, oh sorry, I need to start and say something extremely important. All my opinions are my own. Everything in this video is in the public domain, and I encourage you all to do your own research, and I'm only basing this on the evidence provided to me, so please don't take it as fact. Anyway, thank you guys. So me personally, after watching the documentary and reading a little bit about it, I decided this needs to be exposed. I know Britney has done her job in exposing it, but I think it needs to keep being highlighted because this is just purely just modern day slavery. I have no, right, so let's go for a few things first to start with. Put yourself in a young famous person's parents' shoes. I think Britney was 16 when she first, when she sort of like first exploded on the scene, if you like. So I can understand. For example, say like if someone died and they left your daughter a load of inheritance, and you thought, well, that's really kind of them and generous of them to do that. I'm speaking from experience here, by the way. There's sometimes I have to go with what I know in order to help you realise I can't guess for other people. So they got a ton of inheritance at quite a young age, and they were allowed a certain part, and the rest, and this is what I would do, and this is what I said to my parents at the time: do not give my daughter all that inheritance, because you know what's going to happen. So I can understand with situations like that. So like when a young girl has been given a ton of inheritance, she's not mature enough to know how to handle that sort of money. And me personally, as a parent, I would say to them, look, you can have this month, God, you can have this much, and it's going to be put in this savings, and you can spend the interest every month, but just please be careful. The majority of it is put in a trust for when she's a bit older, say like 30, you know, however mature she is at that age, if that mentally mature, if you know what I mean. And that's good, and that's a really good thing that parents do that. And sadly some children just spend it all, and then this is why I do think it's important when it comes to fame, fortune, or if you've been given a wad of money as a gift for someone dying, sadly, then when children are very young, until they get to the age, it has to be controlled. I do believe that, otherwise if they spend it all, they're going to regret it. When they get to sort of like my age at 43, they're going to wish, shit, I wish I'd saved that money now. I should have listened to my parents. So that's fine. But when it comes to absolute 100% controlling that person and that person's life, what they can spend, who they can talk to, and if they can go out or not, it's a different story. Now, this conservatorship, I think I said it right, it shouldn't even be in existence. And to be quite frank, I don't even think, by the sounds of it, it doesn't even seem to me that it was invented for good. I think it was invented to exploit and to abuse. Not for the victim involved, but for the people on the people controlling everything, like they did with Britney. Now, I personally think the father should have been arrested, and I think the judge has been far too lenient on Britney's abusers. I really do think that. It got to the point where the father was working her, and this other manager, I can't remember her name now, I'm gonna have to find it out. She was drugging Whitney, and then there was one before that was also drugging her as well. And they were blackmailing Whitney. You're not allowed out until you take your drugs, or you're not allowed to see your kids until you take your drugs. They worked Britney so hard in just a few weeks in order to get the millions rolling in. And this girl clearly had an absolute breakdown. She was just so exhausted. Modern day slavery. That's what conservatorship is. Modern day slavery. So the father and these awful managers and awful lawyers that weren't for Britney at the time were just telling her to get out there, work her ass off, so that they could reap the rewards, basically. That's basically what was happening. They were exploiting her. Where her mother was in all of this, I have no idea, and that as a mother myself, that upsets me, because if that was me, I would have gone in and said, "See you lot out. How dare you do this to my daughter? Britney, you're coming with me. We're going to do this properly." So Britney has bipolar, bless her, and she really struggles with her. And she came onto the scene young age, and the media, you know what the media are like. So of course that triggered her to do a couple of quite a few crazy things, but that's to be expected, because no one prepared her for this lifestyle. No one prepared her for this lifestyle. So she's dealing with it the best she can. So, and she didn't have the right people around her to support her. This is why marriage after marriage after marriage, she has been looking for that security, because she didn't find it in her family. So bipolar people, they do genuinely struggle. They do, not like narcissists. Bipolar people really do struggle, and I really do feel for them, because they do have a hard time of it. So you've got that on top of fame, on top of billions coming in a year. It's bound to send any young lady or young man into a complete meltdown and start to do crazy things, because no one was around her to give her the right support. And then, because she was going so wild, if you like, they decided the father and the dodgy lawyers, etc., thought, well, let's do this and we can gain from it. And this is all it is, people. And that just covers the whole thing. What I just said. Take it and we'll benefit from it. And that's what conservatorship is really all about. It wasn't invented for the good. It was invented for modern day slavery and to exploit vulnerable people. And I have no idea why this is even allowed. I really have, and I just don't understand. That's madness, absolute madness. I just can't believe it. When I was watching the documentary, I could not believe what I was seeing and hearing. I really, I've never, oh God, sorry guys, I've gone blank again. I've never been, yeah, I like celebrities, I like music and the films and that, but I've never been interested in a celebrity's lifestyle until the Johnny Depp case. And then I saw that thing about Britney Spears on TV, and I thought, when I get a chance, we must talk about this, because it's the dark side to fame, isn't it, really? The dark side to fame. And we need to expose it, people, because what else is going on that we don't know about? What other vulnerable celebrities are going through this and aren't allowed their phones to send a Mayday call? Britney, bless her, she sent quite a few Mayday calls, but she felt she wasn't listened to. Not by the public, but by the people outside of the control web that she was in. She said no one was listening to her. Everyone thought she was just saying it. So this is the power that some of these managers and parents, if you like, and dodgy people, they just line up, don't they? They line up and wait for their next victim. They literally sound like they just line up there, wait for their next famous vulnerable victim, and hounding like vultures. Whoever is responsible for Britney's downfall, because I don't think it's all her, whoever is responsible for that, including the father and the people that were forcing medication down her neck that sent her absolutely doolally because it was the wrong drugs, should be held to account in a court of law. And I think if anything else comes up like this again in future, we need to be on it straight away, because there's victims out there, wealthy or not, they need to have a voice. And this is why YouTube's a good place to do it, because there's victims out there that can't get heard. And it's up to the public now to actually make them aware that we're there for them, and make the authorities aware that we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Who the hell brings in modern day slavery? Who the hell thought of that? It's despicable. And I really do hope, when Britney settled down a bit, calmed down a bit, and got the right people around her that can really get her mentally well, I think she needs to get as much backup from trusted people as she can. The public as well, they need to be involved, because this is a thing that if the public aren't involved in some of these cases, then things get buried. And they do get buried. Because if there's no public allowed in a court, for example, or if it has to be hush hush in that little circle and the world will never hear about it, how can things change? How can we change things if no one's allowed to talk about it, or if things are kept buried? The public need to know about it, because we're on the outside here fighting for vulnerable people that are being exploited and forced to slave away somewhere singing songs. It's despicable. Who the hell invented this thing? They need to be held to account. And everybody who was around Britney at that time, including the father and probably the mother, they need to be held account, because they're to blame for this. They never provided the right support for their daughter, and they never made sure she got the right support. They were in it for themselves, and they exploited her. Anyway, that's part 1. If I can come up with anything else, guys, we'll do a part 2. But I just wanted to mix the channel up a bit and just talk about really, really important issues that we didn't even know about until someone said it. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to talk about certain topics, please let me know, and we'll sort something out. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.